Mel. Strategy of Lucifer infiltrating Christian houses through statues, paintings, artwork, dolls. It was the year 2007. I was in 8 months of prayer retreat in the church, then I received the visitation of 3 angels of the Lord. One of them was the Archangel Michael, who was supposed to talk to me about spiritual warfare. During Michael's visitation he led me to the second heaven to attend a meeting in the firmament organized by Lucifer, and in this meeting, Lucifer enumerated 80 strategies against Christians and humanity. Today we will talk about the strategies of the devil against Christian houses. We will talk about the way the devil is targeting believers' house in order to bewitch them. In Exodus 34:13 it is written, "Watch yourself that you make no covenant with the inhabitants of the land into which you are going, or it will become a snare in your midst. But rather, you are to tear down their altars, and smash their sacred pillars, and cut down their asherim." The devil said, "We will enter born-again Christians' houses through art objects and statues. I want you, my servant, to build a statue and art object that will be sold in the market. After building these statues I want a cultic master and teacher to project their spirit inside these statues, and when people will buy these statues they will take you inside their homes. You will bring us information about them and you will influence them since you are part of their lives." The devil said, "I want these sculptures to be the image of mystical masters. It must be designed as a copy mystical master. Afterward, these masters must project their spirits inside these sculptures. I want you to influence them through posters and photos. Beloved, if you have a picture or a poster of celebrity and musician, this is dangerous because you have a foreigner in your house through the statue and poster." I was still in the firmament attending Lucifer's gathering accompanied by the Archangel Michael. As we were in that meeting observing what was happening, then I saw Lucifer ordering millions of demons to go to a specific country of the earth, and as these demons were leaving the auditorium, the Archangel Michael said to me, "Let us follow them and let us see what would happen." We then started to follow these contingents made up of millions of demons. We were right behind millions of demons traveling to Earth. They were heading precisely in the country of South Korea. After some time these demons landed, and I and Archangel Michael also landed. I realized that we landed in a huge art and culture exhibition hall, and inside there were a lot of art objects and statues. And a lot of portraits. Also, they were a lot of paintings and dolls. Each of these millions of demons was ordered by Lucifer to enter into these art objects, whether it was a statue, a portrait, a doll, a painting. Despite the fact that there were millions of art objects here, some of the demons ended up lacking objects to enter and dwell in. Whatever the dimension and size of the object of art, or whether it was bigger or small, demons had the capacity to shrink and to get inside of them. Demons can increase or decrease their shape or size. Then, after this experience a few days later, the chief angel of the Lord, Michael, appeared to me again, and he said to me, "I have received an order from the Lord himself to come and transport you to one of the houses that bought these art objects that is indwelled by one of these demons." It was 11:57 p.m. when we took a speedy flight in the atmosphere and we landed in a house. It was night and everybody in the house was already sleeping in their bedrooms, so there was nobody in the living room where we landed. Then the Archangel told me to stand close to the wall and to observe what will happen. Then I stood by the wall of the living room of this house and I was observing the living room to see what will happen. I was curious to see what would happen. Then the Archangel Michael disappeared and I was like left alone there, and as I stood in this living room, I noticed the presence of an artistic statue. I managed to recognize that statue. I remember that I saw that art statue in South Korea, and when it was precisely midnight, something happened. I Noticed that the statue was vibrating and shaking, and after that, I saw in the middle of the head of the statue like an opening. I saw something like a shadow coming out of the opening on the head of the statue. The shadow came out of the statue through the opening and it then took a humanoid shape, and it stood right in the middle of the living room. It was one of the millions of demons that indwell statues, paintings, and dolls. The demon could not see me, but I was observing this demon standing in the middle of the living room. The humanoid demon was looking in every direction here and there, like a thief who wants to steal something. In fact, everybody in the house was sleeping already. Then I saw the demon blowing air out of his mouth. I mean smoke, and he blew smoke out of his mouth that filled the house. It went into the corridor, and in that corridor, there were many bedrooms, and the bluish smoke was entering in each of the bedroom doors where people were sleeping. This bluish smoke was hypnotizing the whole family sleeping in the house. People sleeping in this house were unaware of the mystical and impossible paranormal phenomena happening in their house. There were terrifying phenomena happening in this house while the occupants were sleeping. Beloved, when we sleep things happen. The Bible says in Matthew 13:25, "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way." After the whole family was hypnotized by the bluish smoke, this demon makes sure that everybody in the house was hypnotized. Then I watched the demon leaving the living room and heading to the corridor, and he went precisely to the toilet. After he entered the toilet he began to do incantation. After doing incantation and conjuring, the water in the toilet seat began to boil, and after some time, a shape in the smoke emerged out of the toilet seat. The smoke then took a shape of a humanoid demon. When I looked closely, I noticed that the demon had a female shape. Then the demon who came out of the statue greeted the female demon by saying, "Good morning, Madam Jacqueline." As I was observing this scene unfolding before me, I was puzzled. In every toilet of every house in this world, there is the demon called Madam Jacqueline, the lady of the toilet. The demon then began to talk to Jacqueline. He said to her, "You are part of this family and you know everything about this family. Please do tell me who in this family wants to emerge, and to break through in his/her life?" The demon Jacqueline replied, "It's Sylvia. I understood that in this house there was a woman called Sylvia, and she was sleeping and hypnotized by the bluish smoke and unaware of the demonic entities in her very house against her. There were terrifying phenomena happening in this house while the occupants were asleep. Things do happen when humans sleep. Then, I saw the demon that came out of the statue entering inside a vase of water, as there was a problem with water in this house, so people were using this vase of water to wash, and the demon got inside. By entering in that water, the demon objective is to bewitch and indwell the woman Sylvia, who was supposed to break through in her life. Then the Archangel Michael, who left me in this house alone, reappeared, and he said to me, "When you go back in your body, tell the church that what you have witnessed is called the satanic baptism of water." As the woman, Sylvia, was supposed to wash in that water, she will be clothed with this demon like a garment. These demons and statues, paintings, and dolls receive orders from Lucifer to enter in the water. Because Christians pray before eating and before sleeping, but as they do not pray before washing, water can be used as a tool through which they will be bewitched and baptized in water with a demon. So this demon was in the water waiting for Sylvia to come and bath so that he can get in her body and constitute her clothing and garment. When you are clothed with this demon, he becomes an informer, transferring information about your life to the kingdom of darkness, and he will also indwell in you to demonize you, and to try to control you. After entering the body of Sylvia, I saw this demon doing incantation, and he was conjuring other demons in Korea. When a demon gets in a person, he will call other demons to join him in that body. What happened was that another demon came from Korea, and he enters the statue, and he waited for midnight, and he came out of the statue, in the midnight, and then he blew the bluish smoke out of his mouth, which hypnotized the whole house again. Then, he went to do incantation in the toilet. As a result, Madame Jacqueline emerges again out of the toilet seat, and she gave the name of the second person who was supposed to a breakthrough in his life in that house. Then, the demon that came out of the statue enters into the water again, waiting for the target in order to enter his body. Through demonic water baptism. Once he entered into the body of the victim, this demon would call another demon again, and the same process will happen until everybody in the house is possessed and baptized in water. As a result, everybody's life and progress will get compromised. As I was observing this scene, I was puzzled. In fact, in every toilet of every house, there is a demon called Jacqueline, the lady of the toilet. She is the hidden family member whose purpose is to collect information about the family. When a witch comes to your house, he/she will rush to the toilet to summon her for information about you. A few days later, the angel of the Lord visited me again, and he transported me to another house. It was PM when we landed in an apartment. It was like a studio. Then I heard someone speaking, and the voice of the person speaking seems familiar to me, and when I checked I realized that it was a man of God that I knew. This man was a prophet, and the angel told me to enter the apartment, and after we entered, I saw a bed on the pavement in the middle of this studio. At the corner of this studio was the toilet. Then, all of a sudden, I saw a female demon coming out of the toilet. I recognized her as I saw her in the previous house. It was Madame Jacqueline, the lady of the toilet, who is in every house of earth. She entered the bedroom of this prophet, and she lifted her bed and did an incantation, and she turned the bed into cotton and placed inside the ceiling of the apartment. Then, the demon laid herself where the bed was, and she turned to cotton and sponge, just like a normal bed. Then, the angel of the Lord said to me, when the prophet sleeps on his bed, he thinks that he is sleeping on a normal bed, but he is actually sleeping on a woman, a female demon. The angel said, when you return to your body, go tell this prophet that he is sleeping over a woman. Actually, this prophet came to see me not long ago, and he told me that he was being attacked by a spiritual wife. This prophet said to me, even when I am fasting and praying in a retreat of prayer, I still get attacked by the spiritual wife, and sometimes I get discouraged, and I lose motivation. As a result, I abandon prayer and cut short my prayer and fasting. When this prophet told me his situation, that day we prayed together, but we saw nothing, but thank God, because this angelic visitation revealed the identity of the demon attacking the prophet, who is Madame Jacqueline. Before the end of that vision, the angel of the Lord explained to me how to expel the demon of the toilet, Jacqueline. He told me to pray for olive oil and to drop a drop of it into the toilet while praying, and she will leave.